not everyone who says, I'm broke, is broke for the same reason. Some just don't know how to save their money, or some don't know how to spend their money. Some don't have a financial planner or the training in the background, like a Robert Parkinson, who knows how to manage money and how to create wealth and how to save wealth and how to invest that wealth for the future. Some, like myself and the family that I grew up in, we've never had a lot of wealth. So how do you manage wealth is a question that we really don't have the answer to. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast. This morning I was reading a fairly lengthy article on LinkedIn. And in this article, what they were comparing was the hourly wage. And I use that in air quotes because even in the basic math, there were some flaws. The premise was that they took some of the wealthiest people in America and they took their income difference between 2017 and 2018. They divided that by the total number of hours in the year, which is not what anyone works, because that would presume that you work 24/7, 365. No one works every day for 24 hours all year long and never stops. Most people, even if they work full time, it's 2,080 hours roughly. The number they came up with close to 9,800 hours, so close to 9,000 hours a year. I don't know anybody that works that much. I digress. They took their annual difference of income between 17 and 18 and divided it across that 9,000-ish hours and came up with what they called an hourly wage, which eventually led to Jeff Bezos of Amazon and other entities making somewhere around $4.5 million an hour. But they go on in the article to point out that while he earns or makes or accumulates $4.5 million an hour, people that work for him only make $28,000. And there are a couple of implications that go along with that. In the hundreds of comments below the article, it's things like, why does he get to keep so much money? Why doesn't he give it away to the poor? I mean, he could give $1 million to everybody in America, and then everybody in America would be wealthy, and he would be no worse off. And why do his employees only make $28,000 a year when he's making so much money? And at first blush, it's easy to fall into that and go, well, maybe he is taking way more of the pie from his company than those people who work for him. They should get more. But then you also have to look at the job that they do. I know there's a big talk about minimum wage, but minimum wage shouldn't be the mandate of employers to pay people so they all have equal outcomes, so that everybody can drive the same kind of car and everybody can live in the same kind of house and everybody can attend the same kind of private schools. That's not what minimum wage is about. Minimum wage was originally created because there were people who were making way less on the economic value of the job they performed for the company they worked for compared to other people who did the same job for a comparable company. That's not the problem either. In my own life, I can tell you from my own experience how much I take of my income on a weekly, daily, monthly, or annual basis over all of the years that I've been working, and I put toward savings, or I put toward retirement, or I put toward investing in material things that will last, or I invest in experiences that I'll never forget, or that I invest in charitable donations to my church or other organizations, or that I just spend. The decision on how that's done, whether it's at $100, $1,000, $10,000, or $100,000, it's the decision that makes the difference, not the amount of money. Ask anybody in financial planning. They'll tell you if you're 18 years old and you start putting away $20 every paycheck and you never stop at that, that money will continue to grow and you will retire with money in the bank. But if you put away 50 and then you wait 6 months and you put away another 10 and you wait 6 months and you put away 1,000 and you wait another 2 or 3 years and you put away 5,000, that money's not growing because it doesn't have a path. And if you make $5,000 or you get a huge tax return or you have a great windfall, an insurance check or an inheritance or something, and you go buy a bass boat, that thing loses value the minute you drive off the lot with it, just like buying a used car. See, wealth accumulation has a lot less to do with family inheritances and singular opportunities for windfalls or investments or anything like that. It has a lot more to do with how you manage what you have, and that, my friends, is a mindset issue. I'm not saying that social justice is an issue we need to ignore. But I am telling you firsthand experience in my own life and when I've traveled abroad. There are places where people have $500 and $600 cell phones in their hand and they're living in a house made of privacy fence. That's a priority issue, not a wealth availability issue. And we need to get that right before we start pounding on people who have made opportunity for 5,000 or 10,000 people to have a job. I'm just saying, wealth is as much a mindset as it is financial opportunity. We need to get that right. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast for Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.